Welcome back, students who are taking Math for Business and Finance and Math Applications, and we are continuing on with the odd numbered problems, the drill problems. We left off on number 5, and I was talking about how your grades are calculated and why it makes sense to try to do as well as you can on your lesson exams, because it takes the stress off of your proctor exams. And if you didn't watch that, the previous video, go ahead and go back and watch that. That was part of question number 5 that I used that as an explanation. Okay. All right. So now, and before I move on, of course, if you don't understand something in the video, watch the video again, read the textbook in combination, and if you still don't understand the concepts, feel free to telephone or email an instructor, and we'll help you with whatever it is that you don't seem to be, help you with whatever you seem to be having difficulty with. Okay, so 22-7, all right, it says here, find the median. Now remember, the median is not the mean. The mean is an average, right? The mean is your average, okay? But the median is trying to find the middle value, right? To do that, we have to rearrange our information, okay? So we start from lowest to highest. So we have a 10, then we have 19, then we have 25, then we have 38, then we have 55, and then we have 100. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to find the middle value. What's smack in the middle, okay? Now, if it's an odd number, right? If it's an odd number of values, you're going to end up actually like landing on that particular middle number. Like, let's say, for example, I had one more number here, 105, okay? Well, the middle value, if I added 105 to it, the middle value would be here at 38. So 38 would become my median, okay? So whenever you have an odd number, all right, you're just looking for the exact middle value. But when you have an even number of values, okay, what you do is you count up however many there are. In this case, there's 6, and you divide by 2, which means you're looking for 3. There's going to be 3 on one side, 3 on the other, okay? And so these middle two, this here 25 and 38, you're taking the midpoint between the two. So you take 38, add your 25, which gives you 13, 63, and then you divide by 2, which gives you 31.5, right? So your median value would be 31.5. Right? That's your median. And you do that because you have an even number of data points, okay? So you have to do this when you have the even number. If you have the odd number of data points, then all you're doing is looking for the exact middle one, okay? All right, next problem. Okay, so now finding the mode, right? The mode is the data point that's been used the most times. Okay, so in this case here we have, all right, let's just list them all out: 3, 4, 8, 9, and 12. Okay, so 3 is used once, 4 is used once, 8 is used once, 9 is used once, 12 is used once, then 8 is used a second time and a third time, and then 9 is used a second time. So our mode is going to be 8 because it's been used 3 times, which is the greatest number, it's used the most out of all of these data values, okay? So that's what the mode is. You don't really, mode is important, but you don't use it all of the time. You have more of a tendency to use the mean all of the time, or the median, and then mode being like obviously the third most used. All right, 11. All right, given this is the cost of a truck. In 2012, it's $30,000, and in 2008, it's $21,000. It says calculate the price relative. Right, so round it to the nearest tenth. Okay. So to find the price relative, right? The base price is going to be the 21,000 because that was in 2008. Okay, and we're taking our current price of the 30,000, and we divide it by the 21,000, and that gives us, let's see here, 30 divided by 21. That gives us 1.4285, and we multiply that by 100, and that gives us 142 point, and it says round to the nearest tenth. So the nearest tenth is going to be this 8, but we're rounding up because of the 5, so we end up with 142.9. Okay, so the price relative, if you recall, it's the current price or current data item over a base price or data item. Okay, and you're dividing one by the other, and then you're multiplying by 100. That's how you get your price relative. Okay, next problem, 13. Prepare a frequency distribution from the following weekly salaries of teachers at Moore Community College using the following intervals. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so here's our intervals: 200 to 299, 99, 300 to 399, 4 to 4, 5 to 5. And this is our data. So we're creating a frequency distribution. So what we're doing is we're going to say, okay, here's my 200. That fell within this range. So I put a tally mark there. 290 falls within that range also. 286 falls within that range also. 505 falls down here. 480 falls here. 410 falls here. 310 falls here. 550 is here. 305 is here. 380, 490, 444, 275, 200, and 368. So the frequency of each, this would be a 5, this would be a 4, this would be 3, and this would be, oh, did I get that right? What did I do there? No, this should be a 2 because there's only two 500 values. Okay. I know, so that's how you work it out, okay? But to be honest with you, if I was doing that the long way, okay? Now go ahead and copy all of this down, pause and copy it all down. But here's how I would have done it. Okay, here's how I would have done it. Okay, because I know that my intervals are, in the 200s, 3, 4s, and 5s, all I need to do is just count them up. I'm going to start with 2. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my frequency. There's 5 200s there. 300, 1, 2, 3, 4. 400s, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 500 would be the other 2, the remaining 2. And that's my frequency distribution. I wouldn't have gone through making all of the tally marks. I mean, you could do it, but I wouldn't have done it that way because it was just easier to do it this way. Now, if it was more difficult, let's say your ranges were, say, 200 to 249.99, and then 250 to 275.99, and then 276 to 299.99. And so if it was broken down into much more finer increments, then maybe I might have used the tally marks. But because I can easily see that this was 200s, 300s, 400s, and 500s, all I needed to do was just go through and count them up. Okay. All right, let's see here. How many more problems do I have left? Yeah, I still have a few left. All right, so I'm going to stop here and pick up with problem 15 in the next video. And as always, if you didn't understand something, watch the video again or telephone and speak with an instructor.